Okay, we are live again. Second time this day, today. No, actually third time. It's the third time because I did a members only live stream as well. Free speech. I'm going to talk about free speech, and some of what I will say here might catch you off guard, some of you. First, I will say that as a novelist, I rely on free speech. I need free speech. If we do not have free speech, I can't write books. Well, I guess it's possible, but it would be very difficult because you would never know what could get me, sentenced for something in the future. And I don't want any such limitations on what I write. So I support free speech. I support free speech, but it is not as simple as some people might think. Some people call themselves free speech absolutists. So, let me give you a few examples of where free speech is applied. And I think at this time, some early bird Americans have woken up, which always makes it more interesting here. Drag queen story time for children. Yeah? Do you like that? Do you think that's a good idea? I don't. But if you are a free speech absolutist, you must allow that to happen. Have you thought about that? I'll give you another example. Hold on. Here's the Bible. You want me to burn the Bible? I'm not going to, because I think that would be silly. But if you support free speech, you cannot suggest that burning the Bible or burning the Quran should be illegal or even, well, illegal. You can't say that if you support free speech. What about burning the American flag or any flag? Is that okay? Well, I don't think it's okay. I don't think it's okay to burn any flag, actually, but should it be illegal? Well, if you support free speech, you cannot say that burning the American flag should be illegal, except when safety concerns are involved, I guess. If something else could catch fire, and well, that's not what we are talking about here. What about climate activists standing at the side of the road screaming at you when you drive past? If you support free speech, you must think that they should be allowed to do that. Now, it's different when they glue themselves to the road because that's not speech, that's hindering other people's movements, right? What about, yeah, I'll leave, yeah, I have some few more examples here. So someone's saying, what has free speech to do with actions? Well, a lot. A lot. Speech is an action and it's an expression. If you say that we cannot, we support free speech, but not, we support free speech, but not all actions of expression. Oh, burning is an action, not speech. Oh, we have that one again. Okay. Well, that's a very slippery slope, isn't it? That's a very slippery slope. So let me give you some more examples here. This is aimed at people leaning to the left politically, if there are any such people here at all. Hold on a little bit. In America, the USA, gun activists, very annoying, don't you think? Oh, they are so annoying, and making a lot of fuss and mess about their gun rights and all that. I'm being ironic here. And showing off their gun, walking around with their gun. That is certainly an action. If you support free speech, you must also say that they must be allowed to do that. What about Christian pastors asking for money, claiming that if you give me money, you will be successful and happy? If you support free speech, you must think that should be legal and okay. Now there is if they say that, well, I can cure cancer, that's obviously what's it called? It's there's a law applied there. When you I can't remember what it's called in English, but it's certainly not legal to claim that, because you could put people in who are sick at danger and so on. What about those people who claim that, usually conservative Christians and Muslims, they claim that gay people are the spawn of Satan and what have you? If you support free speech, they must be allowed to say that. So now I have poked the hornet's nest, probably more than one actually, and I've stirred up a lot of anger. So my point here, those of you who are not all consumed by their emotions, you will clearly see my point here. It's easy to support free speech when you agree. It's not so easy when free speech is being applied to promote something that you hate, that you disagree with. So I started this live stream by saying that I need free speech. So this is more like a monologue here where I am trying to explain why free speech is important. And the test is, will you accept expressions of opinion that you think is horrible, wrong, immoral, and so on and so on? Will you accept those expressions? Now, I'm not saying that you have to agree. Not saying that. I'm clearly not saying that. But if you support freedom of speech, you must also accept that such expressions are part of our modern society. So I think that, no, let me put it this way. Every year where I live, every year, there's a group of neo-Nazis, and they come here and they march down, not where I live, but in the nearby town, and they march with their silly little white shirts and with their flag and all that. Not so many. It's not like we have a lot of those people here in Norway, luckily. And I don't like what they promote there. I don't like it, and I disagree with those people. But you know what? It makes me so happy when they do that. No. What I'm not happy when they do that, but well, in a way I am, because it means that they are allowed to do that. Well, it means that we have freedom of speech here, or to some degree. Well, it's not complete. There are people who don't understand what it is, and they are trying to ban certain opinions. Norway is not so bad as, for instance, the USA and Canada, certain other European countries. I think America is worst on this, but I think Norway will get there as well in time. But my point here is that I think I understand what freedom of speech means. It's so essential and crucial to my work. It's been the subject of many discussions uh, among my fellow authors, and we all agree that this is extremely important. And it means that we have to put up with these people who we disagree with. So, let me see if there are some people here to ban from the chat and from the channel, which leads me to my next point. Okay. And I see a lot of people moaning, not a lot, some people are moaning. They come here and they moan, oh, I see you're deleting people in the chat. And yeah, I will do that. If I feel like it, I will do that. And now some people will say, but you just spoke about freedom of speech and how you rely on that. And now you're saying that you will ban people. How can you say that? Oh, you're such a hypocrite. So let me take you back to this example that I used here. Drag queen story time or story hour. I think that should not be a thing. Why? Because there is a place for everything. And I do not think that drag queens should be in schools and reading stories to little children. I think that's not okay. Do I think that drag queens should be banned? No. If that's what they like to do, then they go ahead, do that. But it's an adult thing. Call me crazy for saying that, but I still think it doesn't belong in the context of little children. So clearly we can, and let me give you another example. So I have the Bible. I could burn it, but as I said, I think that's a silly thing to do. But I could burn it. I have the Quran as well. I can burn it if I want to. I wouldn't go into a church and tell people there, look at me, here's the Bible, I'm burning it. No. Even if I thought that it would be a good idea to burn the Bible, which I don't, but even if I thought so, then I think it's not okay to go into a church and do that. There's a time and a place. There's a place for everything. Back to the chat. This channel is my house, okay? And contrary to popular belief, the chat room is not for everyone. We kick people out every day. Why do we do that? We do that because, well, you should see some of the comments that don't even that are caught by the. There's a list of words you can use, list of words you can use, and some of those comments are quite something. We don't want that. I personally also I just kick people out when they say, "You know nothing. You're wrong," and people making blunt statements like that, because it's just not up to the standard that we apply here. It's you need to do better. You can disagree. That's okay. But making blunt statements and adding to that I don't know anything, why would I leave that there? Why would I have people like that in the chat? No, I won't. Does that mean that I don't support freedom of speech? No. Freedom of speech means that you can go, you people who are so hurt in your little feelings now hearing me saying this, you can go and start your own channel and say what the HELL you want there, because we have freedom of speech. And if you had 100 people every day on your channels trying to just make the whole place stink with your nasty comments, if you had that, you would start kicking people out as well. I can guarantee that. And I know there are YouTube creators saying that, well, I don't do that. I can tell you this, they are lying. They're lying to you. It is built into the application here that we use. So that's just how it is. Thornhedge says, same reason they throw troublemakers out of bars and restaurants. Yes, exactly. Now, I will say this, I will add this. My system is not perfect. It's not. And some comments will be automatically deleted, both in the comment section and from the chat, without me knowing. And with the amount of comments I get, more than 1,000 every day on my channels, I can't really go through them all. So I am sorry if you had a comment deleted. These things happen automatically most often. I see some now and then, and let's see if I can find an example here. Oh, Mad Grafo. Thanks a lot for that donation. And you're saying, I watch this because I like the choices you make. Well, thank you so much for that. Now, okay, let me, I'll tell you what. I think I need stronger glasses, and they told me you need stronger glasses. These glasses are not very strong. Now, I already had bought those, but I don't want to use them because I'm being silly. Let's see here. Here is one that was automatically hidden. Comment to someone else here. No, it does not. If you choose to insult, ridicule, slander someone, you use your freedom of speech to earn the ass whooping you're going to get. That's true. Yeah. Probably the ASS word there that got you the thing here that automatically hide and delete that and caught that word, I guess. Let's see. I'll just yeah, the funky bird. There are some words that need to be. I can't really have them here. You see. Yeah, let's see here. Ast Anarcho says, I agree that free speech ends when it gets personal, insulting. That's a good example, actually. In the workplace, my friend Matthias on Germanic Pagan Paths, he talked about this in a live stream, and he said that you can't say what you want, for instance, in the workplace. You can't do that. You can't sexually harass people. You can't be nasty to people. You will lose your job then. Yeah, I'm. Elizabeth, I'm not going to burn any book. It's just an example. Let's see here. Yeah, well, I can't find any. Mad Graffle, thanks a lot for that awesome donation. And I gave him $1. You gave me $2.99 from Australia. Thanks a lot. I think I caught super chats. No, James. Really, you say love this channel. That's wonderful. Really. Yeah. Okay. I'll scroll down. Yeah. Okay. Now. So okay. One or the reason I think that the chat here is usually so friendly is that we have gotten rid of the trolls. And there are some that will pop up and we get rid of them. And they are very free to start their own channel. That's fine. I suggest that any troll listening to this do that. And some people say, well, you can't call everyone who disagree with you a troll. No, and I don't. So Sandra is asking, why can I not say the word SHIT on YouTube? Well, I don't know. I don't know. But, well, obviously it's a rude word, I guess. I do have a list where I have put rude words, and I can't remember now, but I don't think that word is there. Yeah. So again, this was my little monologue about free speech, and I think it's important to understand that there is a place for everything. And I know that if I say that, I don't think there should be such a thing as drag queen story time or whatever it's called. If I say that, some people will say to me that, well, you're an author. You need free speech. And now you want to ban people. Yeah, I still think that there's a place for everything. And there are places where it's not appropriate. I'm not saying that that expression should be banned. It's I guess they have their own places for that, where they can do that. But a group of little children it's clearly not a place for that. So, but some people will still say, "Aha, you're not in support of free speech since you're saying that." Yeah, if there is doubt, I think one should lean towards allowing the expression. And to those who said a few minutes ago that action is not speech, well, sometimes it is. Sometimes what we're really talking about now, freedom of speech is, in that context, speech means expression. And this is quite important to understand. So a painting is an expression. Um, if you walk from, some people walk for charity, right? If you walk from here to another place far away, that's an expression, actually. And if we were to limit free speech to only speech, like the spoken word and the written word, and then we said, well, but anything that is not a spoken word or a written word, that we can ban. Well, then you don't really have that freedom anymore. Because as human beings, we express ourselves in many different ways. What about dance? That's an art form. And some people, they express themselves through dance. They have a message that they express, they deliver through dance. I will not be doing that. And there are many other examples, of course. So yeah, and here's one thing that is quite interesting. As a member of the Writers Guild here in Norway, I get the newsletters from the Federation, and we are supporting writers in countries where they do not have freedom of speech. That means that if they write a book and the message in the book is that the government is bad, the government are cruel, for instance, they can be put in jail. And very often that's what happened. That's what happened to these people. And someone here, they said, well, Russia and Putin and so on, and they think it's so great over there. It's not. If you value freedom of speech, you really shouldn't use Russia as an example of a place where they have freedom of speech. It just makes you look very stupid. Okay. Same with Turkey, Belarus. Yeah, well, several countries. Typically in the Middle East, Eastern Europe, freedom of speech is not as protected at all in many of those countries. Have I banned you, Bushcraft Quebec? Why are you still here then? Are you joking? Maybe I did not ban you. Maybe one of the moderators kicked you out, or maybe the algorithm kicked you out. I don't know. But anyway. Okay. That's nice. So, again, freedom of speech is tested, or your support of freedom of speech is tested when those people you absolutely disagree with gets to express their opinions. You have to accept that. If you can't do that, sorry, then you're not in support of freedom of speech. And I'm repeating myself here, but it's just such a good example. Those neo-Nazis, every year they march in the street there in the town. I hate that, and I love that because I hate their message, um, and I love the fact that they are allowed to do that. As I explained why, um, and the same with these Islamist groups. We don't really have that much. They are not making so much fuss anymore here in Norway. Well, they certainly are in other parts of the world. Uh, I I don't know why actually, um, but I think it's good that they're not making as much fuss as they used to. Um, but again, I must accept that, even though they disgust me. I must accept that if I support freedom of speech, and I do. Yeah, I could give you many examples. Uh, now, yeah, well, Richard Price, yes. Well, you see, uh, we have to accept that these people are standing there shouting their lungs out about the Allah and Muhammad and things. We have to accept that if we support freedom of speech. But we will not accept any um, that we will not accept that they move from expressing their opinion to imposing their beliefs on other people. That's not expression. That's not speech or expression. That's something completely different, which we will not accept. So, um, from Lithuania, I won't try to pronounce your name, but greetings from Lithuania. Surreal times. Yeah, absolutely. So, okay, I am on dad cab duty today, and I have to leave in a few minutes. And I want to thank you all for joining. This is one of those interesting discussions, a very philosophical discussion, I think, and it's worth taking the time contemplating about these topics. I think freedom of speech is under pressure; it's being threatened, um, and I, on purpose, did not get into how our governments here in the West are trying to redefine freedom of speech. That's what they're doing, because they claim that we have freedom of speech here, but you can't say that, and you can't say this, you can't say that, and you know, and the cancel culture and all that. Yeah, good point. Good point here. Uh, I don't know why that was censored away or hidden. Where is it now? Uh, yes, see how we are living, says, we therefore also have the right to say that all the religions are delusional, I can't speak now, delusional and mad. Absolutely, absolutely. Okay. Yeah. That's all for now. Thank you for joining, and we'll keep the conversation going.